Essentially what happened is he buys the car earlier, drives it around a little bit that same day, finds that it's got some kind of mechanical problem with it. He asks them to return the car. They deny that claim. He bought this car the same day, had a mechanical issue. They said, nope, you can't return the car. So he returned the car anyway. I mean, that's crazy. We gotta play that again. Look at this. Wham! Just, I mean, like right through the middle. John Madden, be like, wham, blam! I mean, look at that, dude. I mean, seriously? Like, you can't be bashing a car through the window because they won't take it back. I mean, there had to be a way where you like sat down with the manager. Come on, man. This is, whatever. Maybe you went home, because I've had this happen. Years and years ago with my first wife, which is one of the reasons why she's my first and ex-wife, is I thought I had a lease coming to an end. It was like a Jeep Grand Cherokee or something. It was a nice summer day, and I go by the Jeep dealer. I had like 3 months left on the deal, and I go by the Jeep dealer and I see, and this is dirty pool. There's a nice like silver Jeep with the big wheels, and it had the it's like a T-top. Those just pop right off, and it had the top off of it. And man, I come by that thing and I look in and I stop and I look at that thing and go, man, that is nice. And here's where this guy gets me. He goes, want to go for a test drive? Want to go for a test drive? Beautiful day, probably 85, 90 degrees. It's sunny. We pop in this thing. I'm driving down the road and I'm thinking, I am cool. I'm not cool. But it's like, this is awesome. And so we get back and I'm like, nah, man, I can't do this. My wife will kill me. And he's like, oh, we got these terms and you got your Grand Cherokee. And I got 3 months left on it. I'll give you a screaming deal. This, that. What next thing you know, I'm driving this thing home. I pull up to the house and my wife is like, what are you doing? And we had this conversation. And I don't know how you are in your relationship, but it's like, house, car, Jeep. There are certain decisions that you should, if you respect the other person, you should have a conversation with them. And I think a car falls into that. When I pulled that thing up, George, my kid, was really, really small, and he's like, cool! And that's the reaction I was going for. Like, my kid thought it was the coolest thing ever. My wife follows him out there and goes, what the fuck? You didn't buy this, right? And I'm like, I went from the euphoria of my son going, I am the coolest man alive, to my wife just bolting outside going, I want to kill you. Her eyes were just like bulging out of her head. But I didn't drive back to the dealership. I was like, what's done is done, man. And I took the wrath, and I think I slept on the couch. We had a 2-story, and I think I slept downstairs on the couch for maybe a week. And then she got over it, but it was one of those things where it always lingered. When you'd get in a fight with your significant other. Well, that time you bought the Jeep. I mean, that...